and standing. Good morning. Please rise and join me in welcoming the MNPS Virtual School administration, our distinguished stage guests, and the Metro Nashville Virtual School graduating class of 2026.
be able to stand up here and speak with all of you. To our friends and family who were there when we ranted about the teachers not giving us good grades or when we were stressed about everything being a teenager can bring. Go back to when you first started attending virtual school. Did you ever think it was going to be easy? Now go back to the present. Do you still think that? I don't know if it's the same for y'all, but being in virtual school has taught me that even though it may look easy, it's not. It may start with you being all confident, thinking that you're going to pass a class with flying colors, but then you will want to throw your computer because a wrong answer on a test or wrong assignment messed up your whole grade. I want the graduates to think about all those late night sessions where it's 10:35 p.m. and we had until 11:59 to complete our assignments, which has happened at least once before. As you sit here today, I want all of you to know that those stressful times were worth it. Today we celebrate where blood, sweat, tears, and maybe more than a few energy drinks can take us. I will admit, I have shed a few tears from time to time while doing assignments, but hey, it worked out in the end, didn't it? I'm here and ready to graduate and start a new chapter in my life. Now let's finally get to what we all came here for. Congratulations, class of 2026. May you find your way in your new chapter of your life. Thank you and welcome again.
Thank you, Trinity. Good morning to esteemed guests, families, faculty, and the MNPS High School Exceptional Class of 2026. I am Brenda Diaz, and I have the honor of serving as the Executive Principal for the first virtual high school in Tennessee, MNPS Virtual School. Today, we gather to celebrate the academic accomplishments of our graduating class. Joining me on stage this morning is our Executive Officer of Schools, Dr. Rodney Rowan. Please stand or wave. MNPS Executive Director of Schools, Dr. Shelly Mendez. And our guest speaker, Dr. Lavette Durham. And our Assistant Principal, Dr. Tomasa Pinkerton. We respectfully request your cooperation in preserving the dignity of today's commencement ceremony. Every student, family member, and guest has supported the students being honored today in some way. We hope that you will allow this event to proceed in a joyous and dignified manner. Again, thank you for your presence on this momentous occasion. Our program will proceed as printed. At this time, we welcome our valedictorian address from Mr. Danyar Harami, class of 2026.
Good morning. Alhamdulillah. Before I really get into this, I just want to take a moment to acknowledge the people who made this possible for me. First, I thank God for giving the strength to be here today. I thank my parents who gave everything so I could have the opportunity they never did. I'd like to thank my counselor, Ms. Bauman, sitting up front here. Because without her guidance, I wouldn't be standing here today. Without people like them, I could have made it this far. Without my faith in God, I would have never had the strength to stand up here and exist as I do. So, let me begin. I won't pretend like I'm going to stand up here and say something that's perfect. I know everyone is thinking what's next, where you're going, or to be honest, just getting out of here. But for the next few minutes, I want you to stay with me. Because this isn't just a speech, this is something I had to learn the hard way. I'm not special. I don't have some rare talent. I don't have some rare ability that makes everything work out for me. I've had days, more than I can count, where I didn't want to get up. Days where doing the bare minimum felt like too much. Days where my goals felt distant unrealistic, even impossible. The difference is, I don't let those days decide who I am, because I don't have that luxury. I'm the son of a refugee and the son of an asylum seeker. Before I ever had dreams, they had survival. Before I ever had an opportunity, they had uncertainty. Before I ever had comfort, they had sacrifice. They started with nothing, so I could start with something. They left everything they knew behind, not because they wanted to, because they had to. And somehow, they kept going. They didn't quit when things got tough. They didn't stop when it would have been easier. They didn't tell themselves, I'm not good enough. So I had to ask myself the question that changed everything. If they didn't give up, why should I? Not just me. Why should any of us? Why do we let one bad day convince us that we're not capable? Why do we let fear tell us to stop? Why do we doubt ourselves when we haven't even seen what we're fully capable of? That doubt, that voice in your head, that's part of being human. But so is something else. Resilience. Think about it, what it means to be human. In this universe so massive, beyond comprehension, we exist. If you ever looked up into the night sky, really looked, you know what I'm talking about. The wave is overwhelming. It makes you feel minuscule, insignificant, like nothing you do really matters. However, that's not the true story. That's not the full story. Because us humans, we don't just exist. We create, we build, we discover, we push beyond what we thought was impossible, making it possible. Let's acknowledge a recent instance of this human initiative. Look at the Artemis 2 mission that NASA did around a month ago on April 1st, 2026. 4 humans, just like you and me, prepared to leave Earth, the only home we've ever known, and travel into space to visit our celestial neighbor, the moon. Think about it. They are choosing to step into the unknown, not because it's safe, not because it's easy, because it's necessary. Because that's who we are. We are pioneers. From the first explorers who crossed oceans without knowing what was on the other side, to the scientists, engineers, and dreamers alike, who are now reaching beyond our limitations. Humanity will always strive forward, not because we have all the answers, but because we refuse insignificance. That same drive, that same potential exists in every single one of you, including you. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have everything figured out. You just need to keep going. Even on days where you don't feel like it, even when it's difficult, even when you doubt yourself. Because the truth is, life is not defined by your best days. It is defined by what you do on your worst ones. Do you quit or do you keep pushing forward? That's the difference. I'm not standing here like I've mastered that. I'm still trying to figure it out. Crap, I can't even spell the word necessary. Like, why am I standing here? But I know this. Every time I wanted to give up, every time I thought I wasn't enough, I remember where I came from, the sacrifices that made my life possible. Because I remember who I am, a human with a goal to unite humanity, no different from anybody else. And I realized something important. You don't have to be special, you just have to try. So do you. Because being human, being here right now, it is already something incredible. So do not waste it. Be impactful, not just for yourself, but for the sake of humanity. Be resilient, persevere. When things get difficult, don't run from it, grow from it. Be relentless, persistent. Chase what matters to you, even when it feels uncomfortable, even when it feels uncertain, like this speech. And most importantly, be the person who doesn't give up. Because one day, you're gonna look back at this moment and realize it was just the beginning of who you choose to become. So choose wisely. I leave you with this. The quote that I want to be remembered for and the impact I want to leave on every single person sitting in this room today. Understanding your purpose in this universe is the key to achieving your ambitions, aspirations, and dreams. Alhamdulillah. Thank you.
Danielle, could you come back to the stage, please? You moved too quick, Danielle. If we could, if we could now have Elizabeth McVickers to come to the stand for the introduction of the speaker.
Lavette Dunham is a proud Nashville native, wife, and mom of 3 adult children. She currently serves as an assistant principal at Pearl Cone High School, where she is known for building strong relationships, engaging students, coaching teachers, and communicating with clarity and purpose. Dr. Dunham began her professional journey after graduating from Hillsborough Comprehensive High School and earning her Bachelor of Business Administration in Business Information Systems from Tennessee State University. She initially worked in banking, but her passion for education led her back to TSU to earn a master's degree in curriculum and instruction while working in the university's athletic department. She spent 6 years at Antioch High School as a career and technical education business teacher, later serving as CTE department chair and academy team lead for the Tennessee Teachers Credit Union Academy of Business and Marketing. Her leadership continued at the Cone Learning Center, where she took on roles such as principal designee and school improvement team lead. Dr. Dunham was also named Teacher of the Year for 2014 to 2015. During this time, she also began teaching as an adjunct business instructor with MNPS Virtual School. Motivated to deepen her impact, Dr. Dunham earned both an education specialist degree and a doctorate in educational leadership from Carson Newman University. During this time, she served in her first leadership role as assistant principal at MNPS Virtual School. We were fortunate to have her as our assistant principal during our freshman year. A natural servant leader, she is deeply involved in her church, serving in several roles including administrative assistant, choir president, young adult advisor, and instructional teacher. She is also an active member of the National Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporation, secretary of the Thompson Edward Poe Players Guild Affinity Group, and a member of the ASCD. Please welcome our commencement speaker, Dr. Lavette Dunham.
Well, I don't know if I have a whole lot to say after Zaid. I think he has set the tone for this graduation today. But good morning, everyone, families, teachers, staff, distinguished guests, and most importantly, the graduating class of 2026. Seniors, I'm gonna ask you to repeat after me. Explore, engage, excel. A little bit louder. Explore, engage, excel. Great. So today, we celebrate something bigger than a diploma. We celebrate the journey that brought you here, a journey that didn't look like the traditional high school experience. You didn't walk the same hallways every morning or gather in the same classrooms. Instead, you logged in from bedrooms and kitchen tables and living rooms, and sometimes from those places you'd rather not even admit. But even though your school looked different, you learned to learn differently. And that is one of your greatest strengths. In a world that constantly changes, you adapted. You learned how to manage your own time, how to stay motivated when no one was watching, and how to keep going even when the Wi-Fi didn't. You discovered that learning isn't about a building, it's about commitment, curiosity, and courage. You proved that education can happen anywhere, and as long as you show up with intention. You explored. But the most surprising part of this virtual journey wasn't the independence you gained. It was a connection you built. People often say online connections aren't real, but you know better. You know the classmates you became friends with through group chats and late night messages. You know the teachers who answered emails at impossible hours, who encouraged you through screens, who believed in you even when your cameras were off. You know the feeling of being supported by people you've never met in person, yet somehow know deeply. You learned that connection isn't about proximity, it's about presence, and you engaged. And because of that, your horizons have expanded. You didn't just learn subjects, you learned yourselves. You explored new interests, new passions, new possibilities. Some of you worked jobs and cared for siblings or pursued hobbies alongside school. And some of you discovered talents you didn't even know you had. Some of you found your voices for the very first time. Exploration wasn't a field trip for you. It was a mindset. And now, standing at this moment, this horizon, you carry all of that with you. The resilience, the creativity, the independence, the connection, the courage to explore what comes next. You excelled. As you step forward, I'm reminded of a song that speaks to rising, to showing up, to claiming your place in the world. In Beyonce's I Was Here, she sings, I want to leave my footprints on the sands of time. Know there was something that I left behind. When I leave this world, I'll leave no regrets. Leave something to remember so they won't forget I was here. I lived, I loved, I was here. I did and I've done everything that I wanted, and it was more than I thought it would be. I will leave my mark so everyone will know I was here. So the rest of the verses and chorus talk about wanting you to wait up. Talk about wanting your life to mean something, wanting to make a difference, wanting to know that your time here is done. You left the world better than you found it. It's about living fully, loving deeply, and showing up bravely. Exactly what you've done to reach this moment. And that's what today is about. You were here. You mattered, and you made it. And now your horizons, connected, limitless, and bright, are waiting. Congratulations, class of 2026. Go explore, engage, and excel.
Let's give another round of applause for our speaker, Dr. Dunham. Now for the moment we've been waiting for. Yeah, take a deep breath. Whew. Will Dr. Berthina Nabama-McKinney, Board Representative, please join me on the stage? Dr. Berthina Nabama-McKinney, the records of these students have been duly examined and found to be in accordance with the laws of the great state of Tennessee and the policies of the Metropolitan Nashville Public Schools system. I am proud to recommend the class of 2026 of MNPS Virtual School for graduation. I certify that each graduate has completed all the requirements necessary to receive a high school diploma with all the rights, responsibilities, and privileges bestowed upon each graduate. Will the class of 2026 please stand?
So class of 2026, are you ready? Parents, are you ready? Teachers and principals, what about you? All right. Then on behalf of the Metropolitan Nashville Board of Education, it is my honor to certify the graduation process and the awarding of high school diplomas to the 2026 graduates of the MNPS Virtual School. I further attest the students receiving these diplomas today have met or exceeded all graduation requirements mandated by Metro Nashville Public Schools and the State of Tennessee Department of Education. The Board of Education congratulates the students and their family members. It has been an honor to have you in our schools, and we wish each of you the best in your future endeavors. Congratulations.
At this time, Ms. Joy Bauman, our school counselor, let's call the roll. And stage guests, will you please join me in shaking our graduates' hands?
Zahara Abdullahi. Kareem Alisar. Madeline Bodavon. Lily Burnett. Michael Shane Klaus II. Virgil Davis. Ronnie Ann Edwards. Anaya Gaines. Josiah Green. Danyar Harami. Jakai Houston. Destiny Mangrum. Elizabeth McKeever. Annabella Morozab. Yes? Sadar Omar. Trinity Rogers. Natalia Smith. And London Tucker. Truly my honor, parents and guests. Thank you so much.
Let's give the class of 2026 a round of applause. Congratulations. Before I offer my closing remarks, I want to first give a huge thank you to our guests and dignitaries who joined us today. MNPS board member, Dr. Berthena Nabal McKinney, thank you. Executive Officer of Schools, Dr. Rodney Rowan. Our Executive Director of Schools, Dr. Shelley Mendez. And a wonderful, huge thank you to our guest speaker, Dr. Lavette Dunham. I would like to give a thank you to the parents and caregivers of our graduates for their support and love and trust of MNPS Virtual School. Let's give a round of applause for our parents and families. I would also like to recognize our school administrators, MNPS Assistant Principals Dr. Malone and Dr. Tomasa Pinkerton, and to our professional school counselor, Ms. Joy Bowman. Lastly, our entire faculty and staff of MNPS Virtual, please stand and give them a round of applause for their dedication and tireless support of our students. Thank you. Class of 2026 graduates, as you bring this chapter of your educational journey to an end and embark on the first step of a new journey, I would like to offer you some final words of wisdom about the important mindsets you will need to cultivate your never-ending pursuit of success. Justin Rice states there are 9 mindsets of the most successful people. First, they always learn and grow. They embrace curiosity by asking questions and pursue learning with their passion. Be solution-focused, because problems will arise, and when they do, take a deep breath and ask yourself and others what can be done to fix it. Successful people are not afraid of failure or making mistakes. Take smart risks and be persistent. Set goals and prioritize working on them each day. The key is to be consistent. Know what you want and go for it. Be resilient and stay strong. Expect challenges. It's okay to ask for help and to quit some things after realizing they're not for you. But you must commit to trying first. Seek mentorship and wisdom. Look for people who have achieved what you aspire to be professionally and personally. These are the people who can share words of wisdom with you. Listen to their stories and learn from their mistakes. Above all, invest in yourself. Prioritize your health, sleep well, eat well, keep moving, and nurture your heart and your soul. Keep your commitments and your word. Integrity matters. Do what you say and show up on time. If you can't, let people know. That is how you build trust and you maintain that trust. Lastly, be accountable and always show gratitude. Take 100% responsibility for your words and your actions. At the end of the day, you can delegate everything but personal responsibility. Own your life, the wins and the losses. I know each of you will accomplish great things in the future because you already have. I am eternally grateful to you for allowing me to serve as your executive principal. On behalf of our entire team, we love you and wish you good fortunes. At this time, we ask families and our guests to please remain in the auditorium near your seats as the stage guests, faculty, and students recess. Thank you again, graduates. Congratulations, and have a wonderful, big life. Oh, one more thing. Please stand and let's change those tassels. Please turn your tassel. Thank you.